Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. Off here to 1v1 on Taranto Coastline. Yes, indeed, we're back to that one. In the south, we have Fortune fighting here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth. Fighting off here with the 1st Armoured Division, tasked with pushing onwards here through the German lines. Helped by elements of the 16th Panzer Division under the command of the Imperial Dane himself. Here with the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Company. We got an immediate choice of British NC Battle Group, which did receive buffs here, both in terms of the Commander Light Machine Gun Paradox section there, which got a bit of buff, and of course Naval Bombardment getting made better, amongst other things. So we got a Sapper section start here for Fortune. Versus me, of course, with a Dollar Pioneer Grenadier start here. I went for Breakthrough for some early MP40s, which have been nerfed, so basically, the MP40 Grenadiers are less like mini Panzer Grenadiers, which was basically the issue. They had like way too good performance at mid to long ranges, even with the MP40s. That got sorted out, and of course, the MP42 also received a bit of a nerf there. So, sections out here for Fortune and the British Empire, and the sections have also received buffs overall to the damage, plus the Bren gun has also been buffed. So, those are several buffs here to the infantry section under the British Command as well. Little fun note there. Parney's heading southwards, going to bring up here. Parney's further up north, advancing as well. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacast, allowing us to keep making all these videos. A big thanks to all those who have decided to support me. And of course, a big thanks to all those people who keep liking and commenting on my videos. That helps me out a bunch as well there. So, infantry taking force of the Lee Enfield Rifles. Streaming on the day, they might get something with a bit more firepower. South side here, Parney's bit of sandbag spark wire. Fortune moving in to swift secure the centre, and I'm just moving northwards as well. We got a Vickers machine gun here for Fortune and the British Empire, something with a bit more suppressive firepower. 2nd Grenadier Squad arriving there for me, grabbing the munitions point here. Just very steady work here, no shots fired elsewhere, except right now here in the south, as I'm moving my Pioneers up to his munitions point outside of his base and laying down sandbags. So there's a bit of a fun one. Dane's got the points here, there we go, 2 units lined up, gonna make a push in there. Go first, make your shots fired here. Section quartered by the 2 Grenadier squads here. Carnot TK bolt action rifles. There's the infantry sections, Lee Enfields, and the 1 revolver forcing the back of the chaps here as the Grenadiers are in shot pursuit here. Taking a lot of damage here from the section. Gonna probably try and fall back towards a more defensive position. Of course, I do pursue more aggressive. Of course, my aggressive pursuit does mean I won't be able to upgrade my Grenadiers with MP40s. There we go. Lawrence there fell flat and never rose up again. Meanwhile, in the south, Vickers then getting the Pioneers, pushing the back here with some well-placed heavy machine gun shots there. MD42 out there for me. Pioneers falling back towards the munitions point here. My Grenadiers pushing onwards. Advancing for the fast land. We got Fortune here with a 2nd Vickers heavy machine gun here. So pushing Fortune, looking to swing around the south here instead of pushing right into the 2 buildings we need to defend from. Going to try and make to the heavy cover here or even further behind here. And that way catch him off guard here. Catching the section there, doing a bit of damage, but there we go. Pushing on further forwards. Again, not really a great position for my Grenadiers to fight in, so instead I swing towards here and go up towards his fuel point. That way digging in on his fuel point, forcing him to sort of try and attack into me. Bit of a bold strategy, particularly with 1 Grenadier squad, which is already down to less than half health. So tactically, very bold what I'm doing here, not necessarily what I recommend. Up north there we can see Fortune hitting my fuel point, sending in a machine gun to deal with that, by the way, from me. Grenadiers taking several losses, down to 2 men now. He meanwhile had Pioneers being rushed by the section. Vickers moving up here from the south, and we got here the Panzer Grenadier Company up for me. Not going to go hard MP40 Grenadiers, since again with the nerfs, can't rely on them as hard as you could. So, not going to do that. Pioneers to the section up north, MU42 ripping into the Sapper Sea. Pioneers being to assist. A lot of fighting on several points here in the early game. Grenadiers retreating, sensing a weak opportunity to just get them out of there, which is why I sent them all the way up here. Vickers moving to occupy the house here, firing down my Grenadiers. See, I'm going to rush and actually pop a grenade on them. Up north here, Sappers being overwhelmed by German firepower, forcing here Fortune to withdraw his men. Grenade there, blowing out the windows and the door. But the Grenadiers are taking over from the Vickers and will have to withdraw here. There we go, not before the northern fuel point. Vickers setting up here, pointing in the wrong direction, and there goes section trying to flank my machine gun arm, met with a full-on German greeting. Panzer Grenadier Company almost has Panzer Grenadier ready. So, a lot of action here so far, a lot of maneuvering here. Grenadiers retreating past the Vickers here, now set up to cover the retreating troops. Sharp setup there by Fortune, of course, does leave it more vulnerable to getting flanked from the north. There you go, a lot of damage going in here. Over to my perspective. Machine gun arriving here to flank the Vickers. There you go, catching that at a pretty unhospitable range. Panzer Grenadier pushing forwards here. Grenadiers reinforcing and confining at MP40s. Certainly a bit of delay there. Meanwhile, back in Fortune's base, you do get the platoon command post up, perhaps planning a fast Humber. Hard to say, of course, what he's thinking. Setting up machine on the center victory point, going to swing westwards. Again, going to try and hit the northern side of the map here, while not, most of the time, trying to avoid putting too much attention towards the south side of the map, as I find that can be a bit of a trap here on this map. So there you go, Panzer gun moving northwards. We've got a sapper section moving forward here as well. Vickers on the northern fuel there, regaining it. Pioneer spotted here and routed. No sign of an upgrade. Oh, there we go. Got a Bren gun up there already. Panzer guns catching the sappers here by the southern point, south of the western victory point here, closing in there to deal with them first. Partly because I'm a bit concerned about the Vickers suppressing my Panzer Grenadiers if I'm not careful. And here we go. Grenadiers trying to catch up with the section here, rushing forwards. Now the MP40 Grenadiers section now good to go here for the fatherland. There goes section push back. Then secured. Panzer Guns repositioning. Again, I'm not entirely sure where the Vickers is, so I want to make sure I don't run into it too quickly. Back reinforcement healing there for Fortune. Nothing further going from as for me. I got the support elements, as of course I will be going for in Sturmgeschütz. There's recorded by the Brand section being ripped apart here. Obviously, orbital low health are quite hard to say they have fully affected the buffs are, but overall, throughout the match, I definitely felt like they had much more of an impact. Because I wanted to get veterans one. In fact, my Grenadiers almost get wiped out. He closing the other section. A squad here against the section. Up close, the MP40 Grenadiers, of course, still pack a punch. Meanwhile, up here we got the Vickers catching my Panzer Guns in a crossfire between two Vickers. Nice setup by Fortune. Though my MD42 is flanking his Vickers. And now we got the first Commando LM section here dropping in from Fortune, but will it be the regular one or will it be the LMG section with the Vickers K LMG, which was similar to the MG15 adopted from aircraft machine guns they didn't really need anymore, and simply had like a really large magazine. There you go. Coh3 and the MD42's line of fire here. Yeah, they receive buffs, I think, both to light machine gun, but also the rifles, so one Commando LMG section in the right place can be a real threat here. Recce section on the way here for Fortune by the southern point here. Sap's willing to flank here the MD42 so he can maybe get his commanders moving, because currently they're going nowhere rapidly. Sappers sweeping in here to the MD42's flank here. Sappers closing in, commanders there down to 3 men low on health. We got the Stug 3G there slowly arriving here to support the 16th Panzer Division. Grenadiers closing in at the LMG commanders, of course, alone health will have to draw here in the face of the MP40 building Grenadiers. Sappers closing in, we got the Pioneers also advancing here. Sappers are doing a lot of damage now, backed up with the commandos, of course, with down to 3 men, are able to do just immense amounts of damage. Really, like, they massively buff the LMG commandos. The question, of course, is if they did it too much, but they definitely pack a much bigger punch, and that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to cast this match, is just to highlight just the sheer power of the LMG commandos. Vickers on the move here for Fortune. Panzer gun moving forward. See, we got the Sturmgeschütz rushing northwards and the machine gun. Of course, the Stug did receive a few nerfs, both to the machine Gewehren, but also the point-blank blast. Still effective, but not nearly as effective in both cases. Of course, I do think this is slightly compensated for by the fact it now has traverse on its gun, which was one of the major issues with the Stug before. Meaning it had to shoot at anything, turn the entire thing. That was actually a big issue with all the casemates, like the Stug, but also the Marder. And in light vehicles, again, you had to turn the entire thing. So now with traverse actually functioning on the Stug, I think actually more than, is still quite good in my opinion. It's just not quite as exceptionally good at just melting infantry. But we still need to update this for the anti-infantry. But anyways, MP40 guns moving forward. Got the Brand section ready here for the British Empire, ready to give those Huns a good amount of German lit. And there you go, Vickers team as well here. Fortune making really good use of these Vickers machine guns versus me. Very good usage. Also got the mechanized assault group here ready, though I will wait with that one a bit, as I'm a bit concerned Fortune could be rushing out Crusader tanks, in which case I do want multiple Sturmgeschütze to hold that. There you go, LMG section out there on the way for him with the Vickers K with its large drum magazine on the top there.
Territory lost.
Brand section going for the few victory point here. Grenadiers popping in nearby. Before popping out. Sturmgeschütz pulling in here with infantry supported for the section by the northern victory point. So far I've got a good lead here. And Fortune's have to try to catch up here. Sappers base in the south. LMG section as well there. Sturmgeschütz pulling ahead. And we'll go for second Stuke here, anticipating a potential Crusader rush. Meanwhile, we got here the naval blockade ability activated. Oh, not activated, but chosen. It is an active ability. Meanwhile, here we actually got the Stuarts potentially lined up here for Fortune. That could certainly be a problem there for me. Sabersport landing mines here right outside my own base. Panzer's being formed to the LMD commandos who are close to hit Veterans C1. And there you can see again, they're doing like a lot of damage here to the Panzer Grenadiers. A lot of damage. Bomb grenade off there, go pushing in here with mechanized assault, which makes it a bit harder to hit here for the commandos, which gives my Panzer Grenadier just enough of a chance to fight back against the commandos up close. Finally falls in the back here. Up north here, hard flank with the Stuke, catching the Vickers off guard, almost forcing it to wipe here. Stuart light tank on the way there for Fortune in the British Empire. The M3 Stuart light tank, also known as the Honey Stuart by the British, as they really liked how it performed. Even if it was fairly cramped for a tank. Very close in the Brent section here. Vector 2 on the Grenadiers. Fortune very wisely pulls up men out of there. Moving up the Grenadiers to merge with the Panzer Grenadiers. Going back to 5-man strength. Do like that merge ability. And very thematic too, because there was many common case with the Germans issue like troops like, you know, lower quality to just build up like, you know, replacements for like other units. For example, in Normandy, that case like, you know, an infantry division would receive like Reichsarbeitsdienst and Luftwaffe security crews, for example, that quickly just build up replacements there. Big ND4 Thomas wiped out here by him. Sturmgeschütz 2 moving in here. Got Veterans 1 research by the way. There we go, white machine gun here. Point blank blast, I think. He wipes the machine gun there. A roll basically before the point blank blast could affect 4 models. Now it's 3, so it's not going to be quite as easy because I just wipe the entire units. Though, of course, again, low health units on retreat can still like go down. Studio taking hit from the Sturmgeschütze, pushing forwards here. Once more, the pathing here is much improved. The Stukes just push ahead without much issue here, allowing me to actually wipe the MD42 team here. Big fan of that improvement to the pathing. Jolly good work done by all the people involved. Vickers there, force back MD4 to recruit, and we're grabbing the Vickers machine as well here. Wait from Fortune and the British Empire. First Armour Division definitely having a bit of a tough time. Meanwhile, LMG Commandos wiping one of my Pioneer squads. In fact, it might have been the last one I had, as I lost the other one too. That forced me to actually replace my Pioneers. Sturmgeschütze pushing for the Commandos. Meanwhile, mostly because I want to make sure they couldn't appear here and say get some wipes from retreating machine guns or Panzer Grenadier. Fortune responding to this deployment of German armor with the 6-pounder gun. Going for the southern victory point again. Stugs repositioning once more. Got a lot of troops that need reinforcements and healing. They also fixed another small bug, by the way, which is where basically with auto-reinforce, sometimes you try to merge here. You wouldn't actually get the resources back from doing that, but you do that now, so you can actually safely merge there. Quick note there. Still like taking forward, it's an upgrade yet, but they did actually buff the survival package, both in making it cheaper, but also giving the self-repair part of it a bit faster speed there. Good hit from the Stuart and the Grenadier squad, almost takes out the entire squad there with a single hit. That is pretty good shooting there. Far up north here, Brand section catching my unfortunate Pioneers from their part here. Sturmgeschütze pushing north at 6-pounder gun. Commandos hiding out here, carrying the flank in case I decide to get a bit ambitious down south. Recce section caught up with the 2 Sturmgeschütze. Well, quick to let go, but there it goes to flanking the Stug, forcing that to withdraw here. Good shot there, Stug taking further hits here. Good return hit on the Stuart, punching straight through the frontal armor. 6-pounder gun into the Stug, shot bounces off the 80mm of somewhat sloped armor. Up north here though, Brand section trying to occupy Hildat, make it hard for me to grab the point, but of course I got the solution, that is Panzer Grenadiers with a breach ability. Schnell Auto! Grenade first! Send kick! Move in, not the other way around. Still remembers that time at Salerno. That was messy. In the south here, Vickers section there. Commandos and light machine gun section, hitting machine on the flank there. Sturmgeschütze blasting here the retreating infantry section here. Grenadiers moving forwards. But again, we got those commandos heading hard here. And he actually uses the suppression ability here, which suppresses the Grenadiers fairly fast here. And even pins their grenades off. As a further note here, by the way, when they get pinned, whatever grenades they get thrown will actually get thrown later on. As I found out, but I actually thought it was my opponent throwing grenades. They just panicked and retreated. I was like, okay, there's grenades coming out of there. Obviously, I had thrown mine, so I just figured it had to be the enemy grenades. Fun one there. But anyways, light machine gun section out here, Fortune again. So that's 2 LMG sections. Meanwhile, I'm going to go here for the mechanized assault group to get out and make both a half-track and some Sturstruppen. We're catching the LMG section here. Commandos up north here, making progress there towards the northern points here. Got the commandos there forced away. Sturmgeschütze though need repairs, and I really should get more pioneers to repair faster, but I'm going to prioritize here the mechanized assault group because I do like those. Reiki section here, catching the Panzergrenadier as the MP40 guns being for the western field point. Got more LMG section commandos moving up here. What happens here, of course, how many does go for an end? There you go. Mehrere Schützenpanzerwagen riding with some hardened Sturm along there. Commanders taking a few nasty hits here. Southern Cordage Stuart being blasted. Up north here. Panzers in trouble with the Stuart here. Having forced away the Recce section. 6-pounder gun covering up here, making it hard for me to use the center part of the map here. After taking northwards, upgrading to the Stummel because I do like the Stummel. I was also curious to test out the Stummel since again I imagine the Stummel would also perform better now that the gun has got its traverse fixed. Plus of course the just improved mobility of the 251 and the Stummel upgrade of course should also just overall lead to better handling. There you go. Stummel ready. No, they would mount this gun on a variety of lighter vehicles, also the 250 half-track, but also the 232 armored car and the 234 armored cars would see the same gun mounted there. Panterfast the M3 sword light tank here. Stug still in repairs, Starstorming forwards. Grenadiers been caught the LMG section, or commandos, and I just withdraw here because I don't want to lose my Grenadiers. Because at this point I've quickly learned to respect the LMG commandos. Commandos being forwards here. Sends his MD-42, Starstorm catching the wrecked Bren section here. Sturmgeschütze on the move. Ripping through those unfortunate souls. In the south side, commandos out goes the MD-42, but they are poking their noses up too far and get suppressed. Panzergrenadier aiming forwards. Sturmel at the ready still. Pushing with the Sturmgeschütze and the Starstruppen, a small assault force here with a mix of armor and hard-hitting elite assault troops. Commanders opening up the suppressor fire, but the Starstorm and heavy. No, actually, it's the ambush. Oh, wait, they get ripped apart here out in the open. Which, of course, shows that while the LMG commanders are powerful, so are the Starstorm. Meanwhile, we got a push forward in the southeast Stuart race again. We got another LMG commander section, meaning Fortune has gone for 3 of these very, very nasty gems. He's racing to the base here. Grenadiers moving forward. Sturmgeschütze pursuing here. Sturmel sword to serve here. Panterfast here slows down the suit a bit enough here. Sturmgeschütze pushing in and trying to cut it down here. Stuart, though, is quick to withdraw here. And it is faster to move than the Stug. Meanwhile, an infantry is going to try and deal with the commanders. We've got mortar firing down here. Artillery fire of some other sort. Commanders forced away there. Fortune, of course, not going to throw away his fresh LMG unit there. And there he goes. Stummel running covering fire here against the British forces on the southern victory point here. Quick grenade assault here to further dissuade the British from standing around the point here. Machining gun positioning. Recce section trouble. Got the Stug diving in pretty aggressively in the south here. Possibly, yep. Going here for the 6-pounder gun. And overall end up here not executing this as well as I could, to be honest. I dive in the Stug on its own here as an entertain gun. Obviously, this is not ideal. I'm getting too aggressive here, too greedy. Going for the point-blank blast here, of course. And while I will be able to clear out the 6-pounder gun with it, it does come at a fair cost. The Stug takes a lot of damage. Fortune sees my mistake here, rushing the Stug here to flank the Stug. Gonna wreck it here. Punishing your course here. And then I'm gonna compound my mistake by not pulling away the Stummel as soon as I see this. And this dude here will, more or less, I think, knock it out. Because, again, I'm just too slow to react here. So there you go. Lost the Stuk and the Stummel. I will get the Stuart light tank here, I believe. But, as I'm sure someone can figure out, the Stuk and the Stummel for Stuart is pretty rubbish. That was definitely just overall a poorly executed piecemeal attack there by me that allowed Fortune to score several kills to the army. So, yeah, definitely not the best move here by me at all. Fortune, of course, exploited that quite well and punished me for my mistake. Well, to Fortune here, no tech yet, but again, he's got 3 LMG sections. Do we have any upgrades here? We do have the infantry training. By the way, they made the training center just free and at the start of the game. Plus, they made all the various upgrades, give you a bit more experience than normally would have. So, makes the training overall just much better. And certainly benefits his commanders quite a bit there. Got the Typhoons ready, and we got the Centaur Mark IVs lined up here.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Meanwhile, back at base, I'm going for the Panzer Company here, wanting to pull for some Panzerkampfwagens, because again, there's that part of me that is a bit concerned about a lot of Crusaders here coming up all of a sudden. Starstorm catching the Brent section, showing them who's the real boss is here, and forcing away those English men with a bit of rapid fire. Got the sappers, the LMD commanders on the move there.
A munitions point is being overrun.
Vickers repositioning. Sturmgeschütz being repaired. Panzer Company almost done. Fortunately, I feel like focus a bit too much here for a good chunk of the matches so far. And I feel like he could be doing more up north. But again, he gets so focused on the south, it becomes much easier just to hold a good chunk of the map there with very limited forces. But there you go. Bit of a nice push here by Fortune, using the Vickers from the south to flank the machine gun. Forcing it away. There's a bit of a note there. And there you go, Panzerkampfwagen feeling the way. They actually made it cheap here. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but right now it costs 380 manpower from the previous 440. So we'll have to see if that's intentional or not, but no, I think it is worth pointing out there. Panzer Grenadiers on the move here. Pioneers as well. We got the Starstorm flank around here south. Sturmgeschütz moving out. 6 Panzers to cover against potential Stuk flank, and that it does beautifully. In the south here, Starstorm catching the Brand section here once more. A duel of the light machine gun squads. And one which again the Starstorm through sheer veterancy win. Experience up north here, only catching the commander section up north here. Other commander section holded by the German Vickers there. Halting 2 commander section forces with withdraw here. Bit of a bitter blow there to Fortune and the 1st Armoured Division flanking up here. Got the commander section ripping. LMG commanders ripping through my Starstorm, already low on health at that stage. A lot of engagements here. Meanwhile, the Panzerkampfwagen 4 is gefechtsbereit, adding the Pillermount Maschinengewehr. Thumbs up to that.
Victory point belongs to the enemy.
Back at base here for Fortune. Still no sign of attack. I definitely would expect something soon there. Panzer's there taking a lot of losses. Perhaps needless as I'm trying to use them to grab the point here. This, of course, is where having a mortar to deploy smoke. If I hadn't lost my Stummel to deploy smoke, would have been very handy. But again, I basically threw away that Stummel in a not very considered move. Panzerwing northwards. Starstorpen setting out.
Bosch are pushing hard. We're down to 250 points.
Front section there, there's the Grenadier. Up north, we got the Recce sectioning about here. And there we go, we finally got some tech here for Fortune. We do get the company command post. Took a bit of a while to get in. The southeast sappers versus the Starstorm. Remain utter menaces to most things British. Triple commanders, light machine gun teams around here, Vickers as well here. Starstorm, they're coming under fire, I think, in a few moments here. More troops heading northwards here as he again tries to extend his influence to the south, up north, but he really likes to keep the south as well there, which definitely works out for me. But obviously, he needs to be careful not to himself get too sucked into the south, as again, compared to the north, it is less valuable. Bone grenade used to flush out the commanders here. Well, up north here, Panther 4 there roaming about, looking for easy targets to eliminate. And then you got a 6-pounder Lance Brayton and Stuk here, virtually 2 half H23. And now we got the RAF being unleashed. The Typhoons are sent in. Panther 4 counting the Brent section. Rockets there coming screaming down at the Stug. Narrowly dodging the high explosive payload there from the RAF. Grenades on the Panther 4, slowly starting up the crew here. 6 pounding gun, second up the Panther 4 as well there. Good shot there. Starstorm trying to flank him, a caught by Vickers, and the LMG commandos are quickly forced away here in the base. Rockets going off, they almost brought my Pioneers and almost taking out the Stug. Meanwhile, a second Panther 4's arrived. As I figure, you know what, I might as well just push for as many tanks as possible. Then maybe get out some more infantry. Oh, hold that, for a Tiger tank. I'm not entirely sure what I want to go for at this stage of those two options. Both I would say are fairly viable. We got Betty 2 LMG commando sections, leaving just one to go here for Fortune. Panther 4's linking up in the north here. As I'm starting to realise, okay, fighting around here is going to be not very productive for me, so I'm going to focus more on the west side, where again, he's not so focused. I mean, part exploiting that most players tend to prefer finding the south because it's easier to navigate. Of course, with the pathing changes, hopefully players will find the north a bit more navigable too. But for now, I'm going to exploit players' tendency to not like focus heavily on the north, to push hard north. MD command being caught by the enemy Fortune the Grenadiers. German Truppen moving forwards here. Got the commanders creeping forwards here, slowly approaching Bethany Fleet. Sturmgeschütz good to go. And up north here, Panzergun's been caught up with the enemy commanders who get a geballte Ladung, but not before Helmut there falls down. Meanwhile, we got the Recce section up against the Panzerguns. We've got the Panther 4 moving up here, striking at the advancing British infantry. Panther 4, of course, here need some repairs. Now I'm going to be carefully moving around here because I'm kind of expecting my opponent's going to move up, anti-tanks will be around here, so a lot of my movements will be, with that in mind. MP40 goes swing forwards, got the Bren section there falling, or Vickers falling section to university. But here, machine sitting up here. And again, Grenadiers screening the flank here of the Panther 4 army to push in more aggressive with the Panzer. And we got a Crusader tank on the way here for Fortune. Bring in some good old British armor now to meet the Germans. South side here, we got mines, we got points being seized here by Fortune, even the munitions point outside of my own base. At this point, I'm actually starting to severely think about just going straight for the Tiger tank, which will give me 2 Panther 4s, a Stug, and a Tiger tank. Which, some of you might be able to figure out, is definitely a lot of firepower. Fortune, of course, is not sleeping here. He's advancing with his light machine gun commanders here into the orchard, but there we go. Panther 4 is bombarding them, slowing down the advance here for the British 1st Armoured Division. Panther 4 push back here as the commandos keep up the advance. Occupying the nearby house, I'm going to quickly put my grenades to flank a series of fragmentation grenades to flush them out here. The Steelhand Grenade with the fragmentation sleeve. Doing a lot of damage here. He just retreats very honestly. Still ground the point here. I haven't really responded. I've been so focused on bringing up everything north. I'm willing to sacrifice the munitions point outside of my own base. Machine gun on the flank. And there you go. Crusader tank arriving here for Fortune and the British Empire. There goes Starstorm making short work here now, basically themselves versus the LMG commandos. And we actually get a wipe here. Better blow there to Fortune. While they do pack a lot of punch, they do not have the same durability, the same suite of abilities as the Starstorm. So you do need to be careful about, using them like Starstorm against Starstorm. You might find yourself a bit disappointed when you find out who the actual Starstorm are. There you go, Panther again, using again the buildings here to try and obfuscate against like any potential anti-tanks around here. Recce section being met with fierce fire, and there you go, calling in the RAF again here. Fortune is quick to unleash the British Air Force. Rockets coming streaming down here. Panther 4 now staying clear of the line of fire. Time zone swing down, and there you go, LMG section wipes another Pioneer squad, again leaving with no Pioneers. Which of course is where they make the completely brilliant decision of not replacing them and in fact holding out for a Tiger tank. Mine hit there, but enemy 4-2, quite a blow there. Meanwhile, other troops being pushed back as Fortune is swiftly advancing with his great mix of armor and commandos here. Quick move to occupy the victory point by the villa. I'm grabbing the southern point here with my Panzer Grenadier. Another Crusader tank here for Fortune, and very good for him. Other one falling back. Worth noting though, he is not upgrading with a 6-pounder gun here. And the LMG commandos are forced away here due to the sheer overwhelming firepower of the 2 Panther 4s. And before the Grenadiers starts to arriving here, forcing back the Ren section, now Ace Level Crusader firing into the German infantry. The south side here, Panzergrenadiers got the southern victory point. Panzerkampfwagen is falling a bit back here. Of course, still need repairs, but repairs won't be forthcoming because, again, I'm holding out for a Tiger tank. I will not describe this as necessarily the best move, but I don't think it's the worst move either. But it is far from the best move, that's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Panzergrenadiers near the Ace level, grab northern point here.
This territory is ours.
Staatstruppen advancing northwards here.
Shock troops ready.
Tiger tank getting ever closer. So there's an argument I could just like push for more Panther 4s, maybe going for some side skirts. So it wouldn't have been a bad idea either. But a part of me really wanted to go for the Tiger tank. Wanted to try and test out how its perfect pathing performs with the new pathing improvements. But there you go, Crusaders being forwards again here. A swift and smooth advance here. Speed and firepower racing into the rear lines of the German troops here. No mercy from Fortune, in fact, owed to Fortune's perspective. Sturmgeschütz on the way. 6-pounder gun and Vickers on the move here. North the occupying the centre, got the Panther Force in reserve.
We're down to 200 points.
200 points versus the 371 here. And there you go. 504th Schwere Panzerabteilung has released a Tiger tank to support the 16th Panzer Division. South side here, first arm making good progress there. Up north, though, the Panther Force are thwarting his attempts here to breach in towards the eastern victory point. We got the Starstorm, of course, proving to be another headache here for Fortune. Union Crusaders engaging German troops, Sturmgeschütz turning around here. MD-42 pushing back the commanders. Actually, that's the Vickers. And there you go, Tiger tank around here, Crusaders moving forwards, not expecting what's coming in next. And the Sappers, though, got wiped with a single shot here from the Tiger tank. Great shot there, and the commanders, but quite a blow to Fortune, losing his Sappers there. Crusader down, so I guess he won't need them right away, because there's not really much to repair. Meanwhile, the Vickers, they're being aggressive pursuit here, and they're going to be popping a blitzkrieg maneuver here, because I'm feeling really confident right now. So I'm pushing with my Tiger tank, my Stug, and my Panther Force in a blitzkrieg maneuver, though, of course, I had slightly anticipated it would last longer, by the way. I didn't realize at this point it already worn off. Mistake there. But me, of course, 6-pounder also start fight. Several shots to the flank here of my Tiger tank here. Meanwhile, Panther Force catching a lot of British troops here, pushing northwards. Going to the base here with my Tiger tank. British commands being plastered here with heavy fire. And right here, should be moving in the Panther Force to assess my armament to the base raid here. But I don't. Instead, I just keep them blasting the troops here, pull back the other tanks here. Overall, not the best executed assault there again by me. I get some damage in this time around, though. A bit more than last time. I only got wipes in the commanders. Stu that gets knocked out. Commander section wiped out. But the Tiger tank does get lost as well here. So in the end, they got one Sapper section, one LMG Commando section, and a Crusader section at the cost of a Tiger tank and a Stug. Not quite ideal. And there you go, MD-42 of Vickers about to get wiped with the Crusader as well. Quick to replace the Sappers now. Very good. Certainly very necessary as well there. MD-42 wiped out. That definitely helps out Fortune a fair bit more. Of course, I still made some good push here on the map and gained some map control against Fortune. The question, of course, is now how well can I hold it, though admittedly, I still did do a fair amount of damage to Fortune. Said, still lost a lot, and this was overall not a great assault. I could have definitely done several things better there for sure. Meanwhile, pulling back the Panther Force, they need repairs. Finally got in some replacement Pioneers. Starts being seized with 40 Grenadiers, got the Vickers. We got the Red section before some machine getting blasted here. Fresh wave of troops here from Fortune, looking to exploit my mistake and rapidly gain map control. Thumbs up to Fortune. Also worth noting, his remaining LMG section is now ace level. It should definitely not be taken lightly. 6-pounder gun at the ready. Panther Force holding up. Machining Gewehr setting up. Panzergrenadiers, Starstorm on the move here. MD-42 moving up as well. South side, MP-40 Grenadiers standing ready. Recce section got the southern victory point. And there you go, Vickers on the northern point. 120 versus 350. Fortune, of course, will need more armor, and he will need it very fast. Pushing in with the Panther Force, escorted by a fair amount of infantry, are tailed. Seeing here the Bren section, and they are quick to withdraw in the face of 2 Panther Force coming in rapidly and with all guns blazing, almost wiping out the entire Bren section, because all of the signs has got better places to be, unsurprisingly. Also in the south and the south. Also got the officers' quarters up here, both to assist my Panther Force, of course, in getting Veterans 1 already, but they weren't, but also just get some more experience overall. Crusader moving in here, Fortune striking swiftly here. He is not expecting the Panther Force from the serve here. And going forward, 6 pound against a great shot there for the Panther Force. Frontal armor, Grenadiers, Panther Grenadiers. Starstorm Panther Force moving up here. Panther Force, they're heavily damaged already. Other Panther Force moving in. Grenadiers actually now try and catch the Crusader while sitting in the troops here with the 6 pounder gun here. Our roller gets a bit muddled here though, and we got another 6 pounder gun, which I was not actually expecting here from Fortune, and this actually is going to end up costing me a Panther 4 here. Bomb grenade off in the 6 pounder gun though. Wipes the crew here, but again, not the best assault here, and I overall should have just pulled back sooner. But that was another bad call here by me, which definitely benefits Fortune. Thumbs down to me here.
Capture point is being overrun.
Starstorm near command 5 from the Crusader. Actually 2 gained here in the Crusader tank here for Fortune. And we got the Centaur Mark 4 moving in here to assist, blasting German troops away. There we got the Panther in the hot pursuit of the Crusader tank, almost guarded. Got the LMD commanders moving forwards here, flanking in for 2 Panzer pushback. Panther 4 almost knocked out. And there you go, commandos. Our force withdraw in the face of both Starstorm and the Panther 4. Mines going off here, but the northern victory point as he tries to sneak up there. And the south Grenadiers hoarded by the Vickers. Centaur moving forwards here. Machine getting blasted. I'm just going to withdraw everything I can here rather than risk it getting knocked out. But the Centaur, even the Panther 4, with this little health left, could theoretically become like a victim of the Centaur if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to pull out of there before I suffer like any pointless losses. Well, additional pointless losses. Meanwhile, I've gone for a second Tiger tank here. Being promised, High Command, I won't lose this one.
We have vehicles on standby.
Right, I need to switch to my perspective. Got caught up in the action. Crusader, or Centaur moving forward here. Tiger tank moving forward as well here. Good shot there in the Centaur by the Tiger tank. This 18mm gun adopted from the Flak 36 with some slight alterations to better fit into the tank. Back reinforcements healing. Panther being pulled back for repairs as meet more pioneers to repair my things, obviously. Fortune quick to occupy terrain. Got the Ace commanders here. Victoria's cross potentials there. Got 296 to 100 there. He's definitely closing that gap, but I still got quite the lead. Good shot from the Crusader and the Panzer Grenadiers. Talking about a story about how they had to change trains in Bologna. Though I know I haven't heard that before. I was hoping to maybe listen to it, but oh well. Tiger tank pushing southward. Starstorm machine gun heading southwards here. Fortune quick to reposition here towards again the south side here. Trying to set up that kill zone again, which I once more need to be careful about here with it. And there we go, calling in the RAF again. Massive payload rockets are about to be unleashed here on the Tiger tank. Meanwhile, we got Starstorm machine gun push back over the center. Harsh push here. Got a second Pioneer squad out here to help repair my Panzers, by the way. Legends 1 Centaur is pursuing my troops inside my base here. Tiger tank's all the way up here at half health. Meanwhile, more rockets coming down here, hitting the villa, blowing out quite a bit there, the house. Meanwhile, on the base, he's diving in there, getting my machine crews killed. Fortune actually now holds most of the map here. Panther 4 southwards here. We've got 6 pounder guns and Crusader in to intercept my Panther 4 here as the Tiger tank awaits repairs. And he's diving in the center into the base here. Could get a wipe here. My Starstorm and my machine gun here. In fact, that might be what Fortune is angling for here. Crusader going for the Panther 4 here. Diving in hard here. 6 pounder gun almost got it. Panther 4 almost getting knocked out here. Crusader misses an incredible piece of stroke of luck here. Meanwhile, machine's about to go out with the Centaur. Tiger tank moving in, hit Grenadiers, Panzer retreating right past the commanders. Machine gun team wiped. Starstorm, all that is left here now for the Centaur to wipe. Tiger tank, they're pushing into the base, getting shot at by the 6-pounder guns through the side armor. It is hectic, and it's a mess here. Meanwhile, Pioneers pulling up to repair the Panther 4 here. Troops being hammered here by the center. Tiger tank engaging, shot right for the rear here, over to Fortune. Panzer gun is going to take heavy hits here. And we got the 6-pounder guns being hauled up to the base entrance here. Bombarding troops out of the base here. Centaur at Veterans E2. Let's say it gets a bit close to the gun. Could risk getting Panther faster. There we go. Tiger tank moving up. Good shot there. Veterans run the Tiger tank. Ground the points on the base here. Panzer's being fought only to get shredded here by the commanders in the command. Centaur using the smoke to escape the Tiger tank. Goes back here to murdering my infantry inside of its base, but the Tiger tank arrives and knocks out the Centaur. Grenadier starts to miss the LMG commanders here with 32 kills. Absolutely hardened bunch of commandos, that's for sure. Crusader striking back here. We got 100 versus 225. Tiger tank in dire need of repairs. Pioneers being hauled back. Panther 4 there, half H of HC3. And I will be going for the 3rd Pioneer Squad to expedite repairs. Though, of course, what I could be doing as well is actually go for the hazard removal package, since that actually increases the repair speed. But I have yet to actually, like, internalize that piece of information, so I won't be doing that this match. I suspect it will take players a bit of a while there to, remember that, oh yeah, this now actually increases repair speed.
Strategic point is being overrun.
Crusader ripping into my troops, sappers moving forwards.
The enemy is trying to take a point.
100 versus 212, Tiger tank receiving repairs. And we got Grants here for Fortune. Bring in the finest in British weaponry here. And the American and least equipment. A Tiger tank here pursuing the Crusader. 6-pounder gun flying away there, punching through the Tiger tank's frontal armor, allowing the Crusader, I think, to survive as I have to withdraw my Tiger tank, unless, of course, I want to lose another Tiger tank, and the Pioneers there getting hit and murdered in the process.
A Grant medium tank is reporting.
3rd Pioneer Squad on the way, and there we go. Grant tank out, which was a modified M3 Lee. Specifically, the British did not like the turret on the Lee and had another one made. So, little fun fact there. Starting with Pentaforce support strike in the section, Brent section in the center here. Ace level Stars Turbo forcing away the wrecked Brent section there. We got 100 versus 194 here. Tiger tank there receiving repairs, and again, 3 Pioneer Squads to get the job done. Of course, again, I could have gone for the hazard removal package to expedite things a bit further. So that's all there. And of course, he's also gone here for the armor training, so his Grant is almost Veterans 1 right away. Tiger tank sitting out.
And we're ready to move.
Troops need reinforcement healing here. Got the machine recruit by a few plucky Pioneers. Quiet here as Fortune, of course, remains firmly dug in, entrenched, and ready to meet the German menace. And again, he's expecting me to make the push in the south, so of course, I think we're going to try and swing towards the northern point again here, rather than, mostly divert a lot of forces here. Of course, reduce dispatch one guns. We'll see if I can't get lucky. Panther caught the 6-pounder guns. Targeting around here, pushing back at the Grant tank here. Good shot there. Panther almost knocked out already, close to the east level. Commanders there, of course, easy targets now in front of the Tiger and the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Starstorm is catching the recce section here. And the assaults are pretty predictable. The recce section is forced to withdraw here. But now the Grant tank is Veterans 1. He even popped here the steady assault ability just to help further dissuade my tanks from being in the same postal code. Got the Crusader creeping in there, east level, looking for some nice targets to wreck. And far up northwest, him lining up for push here. And there we go, we got a 2nd Grant tank here for Fortune and the British Empire. Finish catching the unit here.
A victory point is being overrun.
Northwest here, Vickers wiped by the Tiger tank.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
Completely collapsing here, whatever defense he had in the northwest, with a single 88mm high explosive shell. South City Glen is being routed by the Crusader tank there, forced off the field. 2nd Grant tank almost done. And there go, wreck the machine gun there. I was actually partly deciding if I wanted to grab it or destroy it, and then the Tiger tank made the decision for me. Another Panther already here. Still no armored side skirts there. Bit of an oversight. Emo lining up fresh force here towards the center. Fortune calls knows he needs to get those victory points back. Striking in towards the north into the Panther 4. Popping here the rapid fire ability on the Panther 4 there. Doing a lot of damage to the Crusader. Panther 4 flanking the Crusader as well. There we go. Caught between two Panther 4s. The Crusader is lit up. He runs some lighter. Second ground arriving here. First one there. Lining up here as well. Sneak up the southern victory point with the Starstorm, the MP40 Grenadiers here. How will Fortune respond to this up front? Over to my perspective. Grant striking in here. Panther 4's coming in from the north here. TIE tank from the other angle here. I could actually pop Blitzkrieg here if I wanted to, and I probably should. But here in the south, Grenadiers in trouble. Starstorm being forced away. TIE tank flanking in the Vickers, almost wiping out and sink entirely. Turn around to the 6-pounder gun and wiping out with a single high explosive shell. Panther 4 flanking the Grant tank here. Got the focused fire ability. Grenadiers still wiped out with the double Grants, and they immediately let him use in the Panther 4. Meanwhile, the Sky's alive. Here's the Typhoons coming for the Tiger tank, narrowly dodging all the shots here. Meanwhile, the Panther 4 is ripped apart here by Grant fire. Tiger tank pursuing here, ordering it to focus on vehicles so it doesn't get distracted by anything else. Got the one of the Grunts, more rockets here. Tiger tank narrowly dodges the worst of it, but the Grunt is doing a lot of damage here. Panther 4 moving in here. Tiger turning around. I do believe the Veterans won in the bonus there. He actually gains more penetration. And there you go. Grant goes down. And there you go. GG. Game over. Quite the fizz match here. A lot of back and forth action. And certainly quite a few aggressive attacks that are being not well executed and are extended. But certainly also think some good moves to have a Fortune to exploit my mistakes and push ahead. And those MG commanders were quite dangerous. But I do think one of the major mistakes was just not pushing hard more in the north here. I think like he was too focused in the south, which benefited me significantly. So I think that's like one of the issues there that I think happened here for Fortune. And I think he could have done a bit better with. Part of me also would like to see maybe some foot guards. They could also like assist the OMG commanders. Would have provided with another, shall we say, element here to sort of fight me back with. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, tell your family, but not your enemies. This is Imperial, cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye everyone.